Hi everyone, this is Becca from Becca's Music Room. I'm here today with a fall favorites video. So I'm going to be talking about things that I have been absolutely loving in my teacher life, in my teacherpreneur life, and in my life. So personal life, teaching life, and teacherpreneur life. So we're gonna go straight through these things. I have everything written down and we're just gonna jump right in. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share. That tells me that you would like to see more of them and also helps you be notified when there is a next one because I've been doing them each quarter. We're gonna start with my teacher stuff. So there are a few things that I wanna give a shout out to. All right, so from end of July until now, October 23rd, the day after my birthday as I film this, some things that I have been loving at school include HP Instant Ink. So I talked about this, I believe, in the summer video or spring or something, I don't know. But I mentioned that I had gotten HP Instant Ink and y'all, it has changed my life. If you saw my classroom tour, which if you haven't, like, go check it out, you saw that I printed out a ton of things that are in my TPT shop that all match my classroom. So I printed out like 100 I can stand statements. I printed out standards. I printed out all sorts of different banners and different things going all over my classroom, and all of them are teal because my classroom colors are teal and orange and a little bit of yellow, just because I love them. They're all map themed. They're all that map theme stuff that I've been putting in TPT, and that is a lot of ink. And I was able to print all of that stuff because I have HP Instant Ink. So basically it's a subscription service. I pay $10 a month and I get 300 pages to print, color or black and white. It can be, I mean, like full color pictures or, you know, something with teeny tiny words, and it's the same either way. You also get rollover. So like if I only use 250 sheets this month, then next month I'll have an extra 50. So it is just a really big deal, especially if you're printing out things in color, especially if you're printing out things for school. Like, it is amazing. And it really takes the stress off of me, because before I used to be like, oh, I can't print anything in color because we're gonna use up all the ink. Which is silly, because if you're not going to use the ink, like, what's the point of having the ink? And so this just really helps me to not have that. I'm not stressing about it, and it made my classroom look so good. I'll put a link to HP Instant Ink down below. You can actually get a free month if you sign up with that link below, and then full disclosure, I also get a free month, which my students will thank you for. So number 2 on my teachery things that I'm loving right now is actually really a combination. So the first is that I got a Bluetooth speaker. So my school is participating in the Little Kids Rock curriculum, which basically means that we're doing like modern band along with our music. So we got a grant to get some things for modern band. So I got some guitars and I got a Bluetooth system, and I am so excited because it's amazing. It is like 2 speakers and you can plug in everything. There's like an attached switchboard attached to it, and it's Bluetooth. And I have not had a Bluetooth speaker in my classroom ever, so it is a huge deal. It has really changed my life because anytime I need to play something, I can just go for it. On that same note, the other thing that has really changed my classroom this year is that I have gotten Apple Music. So it's another subscription. It's another $10 a month. I don't like having lots of subscriptions, but these are worth it. And basically you can get anything on iTunes in the world. It's amazing. It has changed my life. Like, I'm not even kidding. Seriously, I just sit down and I'm like, oh, I need the song Even Hurts by Robert Franz so we can do this activity. Type it in the search bar, download it, play it through my Bluetooth speaker, and we are good to go. If there's something I think of that I just want to play, I can find it. I have even found lots of things that are in like children's CDs. So I found, like, we did Al Citron, the song, a couple weeks ago, and I was able to play it from a like CD that had it on there. And Chicken on a Fence Post, I was able to play Denise Gagne's version of it on there so that I didn't have to be doing most of the singing while the kids were learning the games. Because, you know, the singing and the game at the same time at the beginning is kind of difficult. So that has been really super helpful. And also I can control the music from anywhere, so I can stand by my children who need a little extra help, and I can control the music from there. So it's been really, really wonderful. Now, of course, the Bluetooth speaker I have is pretty nice, and you may not be able to afford that, but they also have some really inexpensive ones on Amazon. I would really highly recommend that you go and find one, even if it's like 20 bucks. Anything, as long as it's loud enough that the kids can hear, like, go for it, because it's gonna make a huge, huge difference. All right, this next thing could go in pretty much any of my categories, but it is my new planner. So this is the Full Focus Planner. It is by a guy named Michael Hyatt, and it is amazing. My husband was talking to someone who heard about it, and he was like, you have to try this planner. And so he actually bought us both one to try. They are quarterly planners, so they go 3 months at a time. So we got these right before October started. And so mine's purple, his is black. And we got them right before October started, and we're gonna use them through December and then kind of evaluate and see if we are gonna wanna get them again. Spoiler, I do. I absolutely love this planner. It is wonderful. It has 2 pages for every day where you can write your big 3, so the 3 things you need to accomplish that day, as well as all your other tasks. It has like a little spot where you can put things by the time, so if I have like places I need to go or appointments, I can write them in on the time, which is really super helpful. And then it has like a whole page of notes where I've actually been doing my journaling on there. I wrote my notes for this video in there. It's just like really helpful. And then at the end of each week, there is a weekly preview. So you kind of go over last week and look through and see like how many things did I get done, what really important things did I do, what worked well, what didn't work well, and then you preview the next week. So you look through and see, okay, what's coming up this week? What are the 3 most important things I need to do this week? What are all of these things? And so it's just so great because it really helps with reflecting and also planning, and you know I love planning. I am like a planner junkie, but I have never actually found a planner that I loved until now. This is my first one that I've really been in love with. I have had a lot and I have used a lot and I've been faithful to a lot, but this is the first one I really, really love. I actually have a whole video on this, so if you want to check it out, you can go see. I kind of like flipped through everything before I started it, so I didn't know anything, but you can see what it looks like and see if you're interested. It is a little pricey considering it is quarterly, so you have to buy 4 in a year, but I feel like it has been really worth it because I've been so productive, because it really helps you narrow down and focus on like what are the most important things that I need to be doing. The next thing in my teacher category is a book. This book is called The End of Molasses Classes by Ron Clark. I actually got this book because my principal does book studies with us. So she will buy a book for the whole school and we will discuss it during staff meetings, like, all right, this week we're discussing these chapters, this week we're discussing these chapters. So last year we did Teach Like a Champion, and this year we're doing The End of Molasses Classes. And this book is amazing. I highly, highly recommend it. It is broken down into a whole bunch of little chapters. Each one is like a couple pages or like a couple paragraphs. And it's very descriptive, and each thing is like, here's one little tactic you can use. Here's one little tactic you can use to really get the students engaged. And it goes through Ron Clark's story. It talks about his school and what they do at his school and ways you can do what they do at your school, and it has been super helpful. I've already implemented some of the ideas from this book and they have been wonderful. I really recommend it, especially if you're looking for something to really help your kids get engaged and enjoy class. Like, that's kind of his whole thing, is like they need to enjoy class and you need to teach them very, very well. So really recommend it. This next one kind of bridges the gap between the teacher and the teacherpreneur side, and that is these new pens. They're not even new pens, they're just new to me. My husband had them and he didn't like them because he writes so small that he has to have pens that are like ridiculously tiny so that you can actually read his writing. So these are called the Friction. I'm trying to like hide my face so it will focus on the pen. These are called the Friction pens by Pilot, and they are magical because they're erasable. Yeah, erasable pens. I'm like, what? How have I been living my life without this? So it does click. It's this little thing right here. I could not figure out how to get this thing to work the first time. And it erases. It has like a little piece of rubber and you just erase something if it's messed up. And it's like an eraser. It's it's a pretty good eraser, especially for a pen. Really highly recommend. They also have highlighters. I have the highlighters as well because my husband just had them, so he just gave me all of them. And I haven't used them yet, but I do really like the pen, so I'm excited for that as well. In the Teacherpreneur category, I have 2 YouTubers that I want to give a shout out to because they have been amazing in my business journey. So the first one is Gillian Perkins. I have been listening to her stuff for like a year and a half, 2 years, I don't know. It feels like a long time, and she is wonderful. She does YouTube videos all about digital marketing strategies, and just, it's so helpful. I've even bought some of her courses. I've never bought anybody else's courses ever, but I've bought some of hers and they have been amazing. She's just very good, very practical, and very down to the point. She's not just like, here's a bunch of theoretical things you can do. She's like, here's something you can do right now, today, to help you out. And so I absolutely love her. Go check her out. And then the second person is a newer one, which is actually what inspired me to put her on the list. And her name is Kimberly Ann Jimenez, and she is also a YouTuber, and I love her. My husband just found her actually because he was looking up stuff about this planner, and she has a whole video about this planner. She uses it as well, and he started watching her, and then he was like, you have to watch her, and I was like, okay. And I love her so much. She's amazing. Specifically, she has a series of videos talking about the stages of online businesses and what you should be doing in each one. And I found this very, very helpful because, you know, while you're listening to podcasts or listening to YouTube videos or whatever, people are like, you should do webinars, you should focus on your email list, you should do Facebook ads, you should do this, you should do that. And I'm like, what should I actually do like right now, and what needs to wait a while? And she has a series of videos that talk specifically about that. They're kind of old, they're from like 2017, but it goes through like, here's the first stage of business, here's what you should do, here's what you shouldn't do, here's how you know when you've graduated to the second stage. And it was very helpful for me because there were some things that I've been thinking about, like I want to do this but I don't know when, and I was like, oh good, I can wait and I don't have to do that right now. And it just kind of gave me peace of mind to like figure out what I should be doing and what I should not be doing. So that was very, very helpful to me. Last thing in my Teacherpreneur category is that I got a new desk. So the last couple weeks, my husband and I have been like completely rearranging the whole house. We have a few rooms that were not being used very much and were mostly empty, and so we kind of rearranged things so that they are more functional. And with that, I got a new office. So he moved his office to a different spot in the house and I moved into his office. So I had to get a desk, and I love my desk. It was about $100, got it off of Amazon, and I really enjoy it, first of all. But really, I just like having a desk because it is just a designated spot to like sit down and work on my stuff, and I feel like I'm more productive with it. Before this, I would work at the kitchen table or on the couch, and I still do that, but it is helpful to be like, okay, I have 30 minutes. I'm gonna go sit in my office at my desk and I'm going to work on something. And it just really helps be less distracted by everything, and I really am enjoying it. My desk is not like the most amazing thing ever, but it's pretty cute, and it was not very expensive, and again, it was from Amazon, so I'll link it down below if you want to check it out, and I would recommend it. So far, it hasn't fallen apart, even though I did have to put it together. All right, so next up is the teacher life category, and so this is just all sorts of random things that I have been loving these past couple weeks. So first off, I have 2 candles that I wanted to talk about. This one is a woodwick candle. It's called Havana Nights, and it is wonderful. It smells so good, and the woodwick ones crackle, so they sound like a fireplace, like a small fireplace, but just so good. We got 2 of these and put them in the bathroom, and I've been lighting them every time I take a bath, and it's just wonderful. It's a very neutral smell. It's not like super in your face or anything like that. Just like really nice, good for a spa-like atmosphere. And then the second one is one of my favorite candles ever now. It is by the brand Sensational, which I got from either TJ Maxx or Marshall's. They're like right next to each other, so I can never remember which one's which. And it is pumpkin coconut, which is a really strange sounding combination, but it is amazing. With our fall decorations that we've been doing, I have a whole fall home tour that is either out or coming out very soon. We were looking for lots of like fall candles, and y'all, some people do pumpkin really well, some do not. So I have really been liking certain pumpkin candles, and other ones I do not. For example, anything called white pumpkin for some reason is disgusting, and I'm like, no, no, no. But pumpkin coconut is really good. I also have a pumpkin caramel that's really good, and like a pumpkin hazelnut. So I guess I like sweet pumpkin things. But this is the best one that I have found. So highly, highly, highly recommend this candle if you're looking for like a nice pumpkin-y candle. To go along with that, this is kind of random, but this is a little jar from Rae Dunn, and it is of matches, and it's just really cute. It says light on it. We also have some that say matches, and there's like a little strike strip on it, and it's just really fun, and I think they look really cool. We got like 3 or 4 of them because we have so many candles now that they're just kind of everywhere, but I really like them. Just really fun and like a little bit more old-timey, and we've been using them to light the candles, obviously, and that's been really, really fun as well. All right, off of candles, my next thing up is kind of random. It is the Enneagram. So if you've never heard of the Enneagram, it is a personality typing system. It's been around since ancient Greece, but it's been really big lately. And I have heard lots of people, like Rachel Hollis talks about it all the time, and lots of different people. And so I finally looked it up and took a quiz, kind of wanted to figure it out. And it is unlike any other personality test that I know. Usually they're like, oh, you're this or you're that, but this one focuses on like the motivations, which I thought was really interesting. In case anyone was wondering, I am a 1 wing 9, so that means those are like the 2 highest ones, 1 being my highest and 9 being my second highest. 1 is, so one I think was called the activist, and the descriptors said like focus on improving all the time. So I was like, yes, that's me. And as I read it, it was making so much sense that like, yes, that's what I do. I'm always trying to improve everything, and that's how I do it. And then 9 was peacemaker. So things like avoids conflict, always tries to find a happy medium, and those kind of things. And they were very helpful to read, not just because I'm like, you know, oh, I want to know all about myself, but to realize like, oh, other people don't do that. So I'm gonna read a little bit more about that to figure out like all the different types, but I thought it was really helpful. If you know your Enneagram number, leave it in the comments down below, and if you don't, go take the quiz and figure it out, and then let me know, because I'm very curious to see what kind of people we attract here. Next up is a clothing item. So this is just one clothing item. This is a sweater that I got off of Amazon. Well, it's a cardigan, and it's like a color blocked cardigan from Amazon, and it is just so stinking cute. That's pretty much it. It was like between $20 and $30, maybe like $25, and it is really soft. I always get hesitant when ordering clothes off of Amazon, but this one went really well. It's super, super soft. It has pockets in it. It's a really nice length. You could totally wear it with leggings, even though I like never wear leggings, but I might try it with this one. And I really like the colors. It's just really good for fall. Matches a ton of stuff because it has the navy and the tan. Really, the orange is the only like bright color in it. And yeah, I just love it. All right, we are down in the home stretch. I have 2 more things. So these are my new slippers. They're kind of gross because they've kind of looks like they've collected stuff, but these are my new slippers that I just got a couple of weeks ago. They're deer foams, and they're like a nice boot like shape. I got them from Big Lots, and I will look and see if I can find them somewhere else so you can check them out. But slippers in general, I highly recommend, not just to keep your feet warm, but especially if you can find ones that have like the cushion on the bottom. They help your feet not hurt. So as teachers, we're on our feet all day long, and y'all, when I get home, my feet hurt, and wearing these slippers have really helped at night to not make it worse, because you know, I come home and I still have to vacuum and make dinner and clean and all these things, and so wearing slippers has just really helped to not have my feet on the hard ground after it being in pain all day long. So if your feet are hurting, try some slippers with some cushion in them and see see if that'll help. It's not like a miracle worker, but it does help a little bit, because at least it's not like, oh, my feet hurt really badly and now I'm gonna have to vacuum the house and every time I take a step it's going to hurt. So little tip. Last thing, you know I could never do a favorites video and not mention a book, and this book is actually a classic. So this book I want to recommend is Little Women. This was one of my favorites growing up. My mom and I read it together, and then I read it by myself when I got a little older, and I used to watch the Keira Knightley movie all the time. Like, I have seen it so many times. And a couple weeks ago I noticed it was on Netflix and I was like, oh, I have to watch this. So I watched it a couple of weeks ago, and that inspired me to read the book. And I also found out that there is a new movie coming out this December. So I was like, well, I have to read the book before I see the new movie. So I'm really excited for the movie, really excited for the book. I forgot how much I loved it. I never know, you know, if I read something when I was little, if I'm gonna like it again or not. And this is one that I definitely still really love. All right, so those are my favorite things for October, November, December, or September, October, I don't know, for fall. Those are my favorite things for fall so far. If you have something that you have been loving for fall, let me know what it is down below. I would love some suggestions for things to check out. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and check out the links in the description for anything that I have talked about that I am able to link. I will put there. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful week.